This is what I use to paint my house here myself. Saved me about 10 grand. It's the best DIY level airless paint sprayer on the market. This video is designed to save you $100 on it if you're willing to go with high quality refurbished, or at least to point you in the right direction.
Let me save you some time and money. 18 months ago, I was where you are now, trying to decide whether I needed an airless paint sprayer or what kind of thing to do. Fortunately, I knew a former student of mine who was working for a painting contractor, and he said, "Hey, buy this one." That's great. I paid somewhere between $300 and $350 for it, and was worth every penny. But you can get it for $239. If you click the link that says more info or something like that, it'll take you to a video that is me explaining and showing you mine in real life, and also with the link directly to this, which is the cheapest that you'll find it on the internet, with a 1-year warranty.
Okay, this video is about the Magnum X7 paint sprayer. This is the best DIY level mimic of what the contractors use. It was recommended to me by a former student of mine who actually worked for a painting contractor. I came over and had him look at the house and recommend me and give me a quote, and he said, hey, it's going to cost you over 10 grand to get somebody else to do that probably. You can't tell, but it was in pretty rough shape, so there was a lot of prep work to do, but still, painting contractors are not cheap. So instead I bought this bad boy for about 300 bucks, a little bit more. That was about 18 months ago. Now the price is up to I think $350 at Home Depot, but I have a link below for high quality, well-reviewed refurbished units, which this thing, I mean, I've painted 1,600 square foot house, coat of peel stop, at least a coat of primer, I think just one coat of primer, maybe two top coats, not to mention a little bit of assorted other spraying, half of my grandparents' house in very, very hot weather, like 110. Well, I wasn't painting in 110, but it was sitting there. And so anyways, I've used it pretty hard. I use stuff hard. So I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the components on it that are nice on this. So first of all, unlike a lot of the cheaper ones, it sits up and you can put a full 5-gallon bucket under there. You can look up how painting contractors do it, but it's way more handy to work out of that. It has a tip that comes off here, and this is your paint strainer. But what's really nice about that is a lot of times when you're working by yourself, you'll be switching. You typically will just do one side, especially on with something with a lot of prep. You'll just do one side at a time because you gotta scrape, sand, prep it if it's rough, and you don't want to be leaving bare wood while you're trying to get around to it. So you end up running your primer, then having to flush and run your top coat, and then a lot of times put away in between things. So with this, just hook the hose up to it, boom, really easy and quick to flush it. They sell pump armor if you're going to store it for more than 3 or 4 days, and you can you just screw the bottle on there and pump the little pump armor in there. It's like 10 bucks. This thing, I used it straight stock. I mean, everything it came from just what it came from with the normal hose. And like I said, it was able to push probably about 20 foot up there. It was able to push paint just fine to spray in there. Anything more than that, I don't know. I don't think it's supposed to go that much, but it worked. It was a sight to see. I had built my own. I built my own scaffold. You later used the wood to make a shed, but I'm standing up there about 16 foot spraying this thing. But anyways, it's just it's not anything broken on there. It's just the extra tip. You can buy tips that are better for different things. The one that comes with it is I think a 515, which is like a good general one. Anyway, so highly recommend this thing. Saves a huge amount of time. Just to give you an idea, if you've never used an airless paint sprayer and you're thinking how long it takes to paint, if I had this house all prepped and all I had to do I didn't have to switch coats or anything, I just was running it straight through, I by myself, like a wall like that, do the whole wall probably an hour and a half maybe, and that's not moving too fast. That's if it's already taped off and everything. I'd do the whole house in a day with one coat of something. Of course, that's not counting the trim, although, hey, while I'm here, let me show you a quick trick about trim. My students showed me this. It saves tons of time. So when you put, you can see how it's done. You'll see a lot of times rentals or property management companies, anybody who knows what they're doing, they will, you go and you spray the whole thing with your primer, and then you tape off whatever you don't even have to tape, you just tape the glass off. Then you spray your top coat. Then when the top coat's dry, you just come back with like a little weenie roller or a roller that's the same size as the trim, and you just face roll the top, and you get that pretty clean edge, and it goes super, super fast. way faster than trying to get in there and paint that little strip. It doesn't pop quite as much when you're up close, but from the street you can't tell. All right, so I think that's all. If you check in the description, I'll have a link to the new as well as to the refurbished. If I was buying right now, I'd probably buy refurbished, because these things are pretty durable. So I've been told that the only difference really between them and a contractor is that the contractor grade ones, which contractor ones like this are multiple thousands of dollars, is the amount of paint that the pump can pump and its durability. But I mean, like I said, I've probably pushed 30, 40, 50 gallons through here. I don't know how much, but a lot of plenty enough to do an exterior of your house, which for $300, I mean, that pays for itself right there. I'd use it, like I have a small rental, and if I have to go and do the whole interior, I'd probably use it. For a smaller interior job, I might just hand